After my hearing was restored, the first thing I did was to show off to my archenemy Bai Yin. We have been archenemies since we were young. In the 3 years since I was in a car accident and my hearing was damaged, he has been hanging around me every day. He also quarreled with me in sign language from time to time. Yes, he even learned sign language specifically to quarrel with me. Bai Yin went to her own company. When I arrived, the front desk did not stop me. I was used to it. It is a necessary process every week for each other to go to each other's company to pick a fight. The front desk lady smiled and nodded to me. I also nodded and turned to get on the elevator. Suddenly, I heard the discussion behind me. The president's boyfriend came to see the president again. The president's face must be broken with laughter today. I looked over strangely. The front desk lady noticed the sight and stopped the discussion immediately. Boyfriend president, is the president talking about Bai Yin? Then the boyfriend is Bai Yin's boyfriend. Bai Yin has a boyfriend. Before I could think about it, the elevator had already reached the top floor. I pushed open Bai Yin's office door and found she was the only one inside. Bai Yin was sitting on the sofa, looking at something so engrossed that before I got close, I heard her say, "Honey, when will you fall in love with me?" Oh, it turns out that seeing something reminds me of someone else. I came closer to see which handsome guy was so unlucky to be favored by Bai Yin. The person in the photo looked so familiar. Damn it, how could this be me? Looking at the photo, my immature face should be from several years ago. Bai Yin finally noticed my approach. She was startled, came to her senses, and quickly put the photo on the table. "Give me sign language, what are you doing here?" She kept frowning as if she hated my arrival, but for the first time, I caught the uncontrollable love in her eyes. Bai Yin likes me. I suddenly feel like teasing her, but I didn't tell her. My hearing has recovered, so I continue to watch her acting. The sign language is clearly, "Why are you here again? Get out of here." But the words that come out of my mouth are, "Woo, can you kiss me, husband?" I always thought that Bai Yin muttered to me every day, scolding me when I couldn't hear her. It's interesting that she has a crush on me. So I also replied in sign language, "Why did you steal my photo?" While gesturing, I picked up the photo on the table. I don't seem to have this photo. From the angle, it looks more like a candid photo. Bai Yin is really intriguing. Bai Yin was anxious and hurriedly said, "Yours, this is mine," and snatched the photo back. It was me who was gesturing in sign language, so as not to forget his opponent. He took the photo and murmured in a low voice, "The photo is mine and the person is mine too." 22. Hai didn't know what he was thinking about. His blush extended all the way to the roots of his ears, looking inexplicably innocent. It was almost noon, and I met Bai Yin's expectant eyes. I took the initiative to gesture that I was hungry, and Mr. Bai would not mind treating me to a meal. Bai Yin pouted, seemingly resentful gesture that Master Gu was bankrupt and needed to eat. "If it weren't for the words I do," he said, "I really wanted to personally do it for my husband." Too loud, I really believed him. "I have to go when I'm doing something, and I won't invite you if you don't want me to." As expected, as soon as I walked to the door, Bai Yin chased me with her coat. He grabbed my sleeve and gestured to me that I was not so poor that I couldn't even afford a meal. "Let's go." My master took back my sleeve. Bai Yin was obviously stunned for a second. Her eyes were red, and she looked like an abandoned kitten. "This idiot," I gestured helplessly. I was in a hurry to go out. I couldn't see clearly without my glasses. I held your hand and then reached out to hold her hand. Bai Yin's reaction this time lasted for a full minute and a half. She looked at me, then looked at me again, held her hand and tried to restrain the smile on her mouth. She gestured to me pretending to be calm. She still needed someone to hold her hand when she went out. She was really a waste. On the way out of the company, I heard countless people greet me and gesture. I heard every employee call me boss, but I had to pretend that I didn't know anything. It turns out that every time they meet they don't say hello. I guess it's Bai Yin's handwriting, childish. I deliberately chose the most expensive Western restaurant in the city center. Bai Yin is rich and he won't refuse. The environment inside is very good. Looking out from the floor-to-ceiling windows of the restaurant, you can overlook the entire Ikuan city. The waitress greeted us warmly. "Are you two a couple? We are having a store promotion now. Couples can enjoy a 12% discount on dining." I was about to shake my head, but Bai Yin said directly, "Yes, my husband is washing. Please help us arrange a quiet place." "Okay, beautiful lady." After the waiter left, I pretended to know nothing and asked him what he just said to you. Bai Yin gestured to me, and he thought I was too beautiful, so he wanted to give us a discount. Aha, he is really shameless. I was eating when a familiar and disgusting voice suddenly came from behind me. I didn't look back. The man walked directly to me and touched my arm. "Oh, I forgot you are deaf now." I raised my head and met the extremely distorted face of Brother Cole. He is the stepson of my father and stepmother. I was too lazy to pay attention to him and moved closer to continue eating. Brother Cole was relentless. The female companion next to him asked, "Baby, who is this?" He is the burden left by my father's ex-wife who died early. The female companion was shocked. Are you really not angry if you say that to him? It's okay. Brother Cole continued to say carelessly that he has a problem with his ears. Now he is a deaf man, but he still wants to compete with me for the family property. I really think he is stupid and ridiculous. He and his mother probably don't know that my father has never had any company shares. My grandfather transferred all the company shares to me when I was 18 years old. How could he hand over the company he had worked hard for a lifetime to outsiders? I didn't intend to pay attention to Madame Brothers jumping up and down. Anyway, I was pretending not to hear him. But the next second, Madame Brother exclaimed. It turned out that Bai Yin accidentally knocked over the cup of hot water on the table, and it spilled on Madame Brother's hands. His hands turned red instantly. Bai Yin, I'm sorry, I'm just pretending. I don't mind, please don't mind, it was not intentional, but I looked at Bai Yin. He was as unscrupulous as ever. I remember he once said that the word wronged did not exist in his dictionary. Later I found out that he didn't have a dictionary at all worthy of him. Madame Brother was so angry that he had nowhere to vent, but he couldn't afford to offend Bai Yin. He turned around to leave, but was blocked by Bai Yin. You don't mind doesn't mean I don't mind, and apologized silently. Madame Brother could only whisper sorry to me, but Bai Yin still blocked the way. This is the sincerity of your apology, sorry. Hand over the sign language if you don't know it, you can't. Are you learning now? I didn't bring my cell phone or my brain. I tried my best to suppress my smile and pretended not to hear. It was too difficult. I almost buried my head in the plate. Cole Egg gritted his teeth and said, Bai Yin, don't go too far. Is that right? In fact, I can go even further. If I don't go find you, I don't know how many fathers will come to support you. Cole Egg looked like he had eaten old gay. His face was dark and ugly. After learning sign language for 10 minutes, I saw him sign sorry. After Cole Egg and the others left, I wanted to open my mouth to speak, but then I remembered that I was pretending to be deaf. I hurriedly switched to sign language. Bai Yin, thank you. You're welcome. You can only be bullied by me. Who does he think he is? I will continue to make up for it. When we were about to have dinner, I heard him say, I don't want a simple thank you, I want you to kiss me. I spit out a mouthful of wine. Bai Yin hurriedly helped me get a tissue. I could only explain that I accidentally choked. My face couldn't help but blush. And then this sentence was not in sign language. I suddenly leaned closer to look at him. He gestured in sign language for no apparent reason. What's wrong? I shook my head. Fortunately, his brain was not very smart. He didn't notice. It was really difficult to pretend to be deaf in front of Bai Yin. Who could have imagined that this girl was hypocritical? She gestured with her hands to Gu Wuyan. Is your brain broken? You can't see the problem with this crappy project. And then took the plan from my hand. I thought about taking this project. It's a pit at first glance. I'm just deaf, not blind. He leaned on the other end of the sofa, looking provocative. If I can't hear him talking about what rubbish projects are, it's worth my husband's time. If you have this time, husband, I'll give you 200 million. You might as well kiss me, okay? I really want to say okay, although everyone has their own aspirations, but that's 200 million after all. Bai Yin frowned and gestured again. Why are you staring at me? What bad ideas do you have? I didn't notice it before. This thing is really too beautiful. I always knew that Bai Yin was beautiful. Otherwise I wouldn't have known it when I was a child. The first time we met, I snatched her bottle and kissed her. That's when the grudge between us started. However, unlike what I imagined, Bai Yin didn't seem to hate me because of that kiss. I blinked and gestured to her. Bai Yin, you're so beautiful. Flirting with Bai Yin was as interesting as ever. She was obviously stunned for a second, her eyes widened, and when she reacted, she quickly gestured. Are you sick in the brain? Her face was visible to the naked eye, and she said with a red face, Honey, I'm so beautiful, why don't you kiss me? I silently moved away from her. Sometimes I really worry about Bai Yin's mental state. Wouldn't he be schizophrenic? If he was schizophrenic, would he still be able to give me his 200 million? When I got home at night, my father threw his teacup at me as soon as I entered the door. The scalding tea soaked my shoes. He still had the nerve to come back. I glanced at Cole Egg Brother who was crying beside him, and my stepmother who was looking at me with resentment. I quickly understood what was going on, but I ignored it and turned to go upstairs. Anyway, I couldn't hear anything now. But Cole Egg Brother grabbed my arm and pulled me down. He used a lot of force and I almost fell down the stairs. However, the people present didn't care about it at all. They all acted. My mother took out her cell phone and typed on it. Helping outsiders bully your brother. This is how I taught you. Is she an outsider, Bai Yin? Don't dare to provoke Bai Yin. You take your anger out on me. The three of you are cowards in the family. Seeing that I was distracted, my stepmother said to my father, Oh, don't blame Wuyan. He certainly didn't mean it. How could he be so ungrateful? Although he has always disliked us, he will definitely not help outsiders. I really want to continue to be deaf so that I don't have to listen to his harsh voice. Who are you pointing at? I rolled my eyes and typed on my cell phone for my father to see. I don't know what you are talking about. What? I met Brother Cole Egg at noon today. and he apologized to me and left after a while. I don't know what happened to him, it was like this, I didn't say a word. Brother Oleg was so angry that he was shaking. I know it's all my fault, so they can bully me. Brother, you can't stand me, I admit it, but how can you let Bai Yin humiliate me like that? When I took the initiative to provoke trouble at noon, he didn't have this attitude. The turtle is farting, can't hear it, can't hear it. I continue typing, Dad, I can't hear it, and I don't know what Brother Oleg and Bai Yin said at noon. He was shaken for a moment. I can't hear it. It's hard to go taking the initiative to pick a fight. A question that any normal person can think of with their toes. He asked Brother Maidan, did you do something to upset Mr. Bai? Our Brother Maidan is so well behaved and obedient. It must be that others think he is easy to bully and deliberately make things difficult for him, the stepmother retorted anxiously. And Brother Maidan also pretended to cry, I don't want to live anymore. I might as well jump off the building and die. He threatened to commit suicide when he was ignored, but he didn't really die. But this trick worked on my father. His beloved wife and son cried together. He didn't care about the truth and asked me to apologize. The words on the phone were dazzling. He told me no matter whose fault it was, Gu Wuyan, you apologize to Maidan. Although I have experienced such things since I was a child, my heart hurts as if I was beaten by someone. I clenched and unclenched my fists. I can't apologize to Maidan. If you don't apologize, don't blame me for not recognizing you as your son. Just when I couldn't wait to turn around and go upstairs, my father's authority was challenged. He picked up the kettle next to him and threw it at me. I dodged sideways. The hot water spilled and scalded my arm. I returned to the room, locked the door, made sure they wouldn't come in to bother me, and then skillfully found the medicine box and applied medicine to myself. I had just bandaged the wound and was about to get ready for bed when Bai Yin called via video. Come. As soon as the call was connected, he signed, it's okay. Are you sure you're still alive? He made such calls every night. During the day, the two of us were at loggerheads in the mall. When we got home at night, we quarreled on the phone using sign language. It was really something. He signed again. Why are your eyes red? It's okay, you're not right. He frowned and signed again. Are you being bullied? It was just a casual remark, but I didn't expect that I really guessed it right. I couldn't hold back my tears any longer, and curled up in bed crying sadly. When I finished crying, I tried to control my emotions. Bai Yin had already hung up the video call, and a sense of loss surged in my heart. Just as I was on when I was about to go to bed, I suddenly heard someone knocking on my window. I opened the window and saw Bai Yin lying on the windowsill in the moonlight. Although this is the first floor, it can be seen that she climbed up with great effort. There was dirt on her clothes and face. She looked a little embarrassed and a little funny. She couldn't even free her hands to sign, so she had to look at me aggrievedly. I reached out and pulled her up. Why are you here? Bai Yin didn't even look at my sign language and directly grabbed my arm. Who else could have done this? This grumpy old man in the family is your father again, right? The bastard's own son, he killed me. After scolding my father, he pointed at me, won't fight back, won't you dodge? I shrugged helplessly. I tried to dodge but failed. I tried to make my expression relaxed. Maybe subconsciously, I still didn't want to expose my weaknesses in front of Bai Yin. He was my biggest opponent. But the next second, he directly took me into his arms. Soon I heard Bai Yin say why she always got hurt. It was all my fault. It was all my fault that I didn't protect her well. The tears that I had suppressed for a long time finally burst out. Bai Yin quickly let go of me. He gestured anxiously. Don't cry. If you don't want to hug, then don't hug. He thought I was crying because I despised him and wanted to find a way to get back at him. I shrugged casually. I just listened. It is said on the internet that hugs can heal people's hearts. You know, I have been kind since I was a child. I mean it, but he didn't dare to look me in the eye at all. He made a sign language and lied. He must have been very cocky since he was a child. When I thought of this, I burst into laughter. Bai Yin gestured with her hands, crying and laughing. Are you crazy? But she said, husband. She looked better when she smiled. I held her hands that were moving nervously. When I got close to her, I could clearly feel the stiffness of her body. She didn't have time to react. I stood on tiptoe and kissed her thin lips. It was really as kissable as when we were children. This kissing posture was not very comfortable. I gave it a try and wanted to withdraw immediately. The next second, Bai Yin reacted and hugged my waist and moved closer, deepening the kiss until I had difficulty breathing. He finally let go, and I still looked unsatisfied. Bai Yin blushed easily. He gestured to Gu Wuyan, you hooligan, as if he was an innocent girl who had been defiled. If I hadn't heard him say that my husband kissed me, he would definitely be responsible for me, right? We are getting married tomorrow. It is impossible to kiss someone you don't like for no reason. I thought it was too noisy, and I was even more afraid that I couldn't control my expression. So I simply turned around and didn't look at him. Behind my back, I couldn't control the corners of my mouth. I didn't expect Bai Yin to mistakenly think that I didn't want to be responsible. He got anxious and chattered even more. Don't you told me that kissing is just to improve your kissing skills, but I don't accept this reason. You have to be responsible for me. Can you make him mute for a while? My ears, which just recovered, are almost calloused. When I finally adjusted my expression and turned to look at him, he had been silent for a long time. Because my father cheated on me and killed my mother, I have never believed in bullshit love and swore not to fall in love in this life. But now meeting Bai Yanyan's eyes, I inexplicably feel that it is not bad to have a long-planned relationship. But before I open my mouth to explain everything clearly, Bai Yanyan had already gestured. Don't say it, I understand everything. I am your tool to practice. People, tools, I don't understand. He continued to gesture. Don't worry, I understand the rules of the underworld. I don't need you to be responsible. The sign language was righteous, but secretly red eyes, tears were rolling in my eyes. I really don't know how he imagined so much in such a short time. Do I look like the kind of person who would casually love others? I am such an upright person. I don't know how to coax people and show weakness. Gestured to her. Then according to the rules of the underworld, I don't need you, you go away. Bai Yanyan turned around. I heard her crying. After Bai Yanyan left, I regretted it. The sign language of this broken hand gesture was the same as my mouth, stubborn in fact. It's not that I can't coax her. It's just that I have been competing with her for the first place since childhood. I am used to arguing, tit for tat, and never want to give in. How about I call Bai Yanyan now to explain it clearly? But I really can't lower my head, so I can only ask for help from my good brother who is abroad, Chan Ping'an. When the video call was connected, he immediately asked, "Has your hearing recovered?" "Yes, it has recovered." "No, how do you know?" "When your hearing was damaged and you couldn't speak, your eyes had a clarity that was not tainted by dirty words." He knew me very well. What's more, I remember that the doctor always said that you were only temporarily deaf and would definitely recover. The first thing to do when dealing with the disease is to stay calm. I see, I was about to answer. And he said that it was Bai Yanyan's group who knew your hearing. My ears are damaged. I wish I could exchange them for yours. I almost made a scene in the hospital. I also wanted to be the driver who knocked you down. No one could stop me. Bai Yanyan, are you saying that all Bai Yanyan did this for me? Chan Ping'an was surprised. Don't you know? I don't know. I only know that I was walking on the street and was hit by an out-of-control car for no apparent reason. Then I was unconscious for a day. When I woke up, I saw Bai Yanyan sitting by my bed and gesturing to something. I had just lost my hearing and hadn't learned sign language yet. I didn't understand what he was gesturing at all. I thought he was here to show off and laugh at me. I love you. I really hated each other after you broke up. We haven't been together yet. I looked up at the sky. I sighed. We could have been together tonight, but I just missed that chance and we are not together. I always thought you two were a couple breaking up because of love turning into hate. I also thought you were the one who dumped Bai Yanyan and she failed to keep you, so she only dared to call you husband in private. Then why have you been targeting each other for so many years? I was silent. I regarded Bai Yanyan as my opponent. Of course it was because she was good enough. As for why I was so obsessed with catering to D, some not so good memories came to my mind. My father had another child outside when I was 3 years old. He started to go out early and come back late, and sometimes he didn't go home for a long time. When he came home, he didn't want to see my mother. My mother couldn't accept the betrayal of her lover, and she used all kinds of tricks to force my father to return to the family, but it was useless. Her eyes turned to me. After all, I was my father's biological son, and he would not ignore me no matter what. My father did still have a little conscience at that time. I was always injured inexplicably. Today I was scalded by boiling water, and tomorrow I rolled down the stairs. Now think about it, I am really lucky to have survived under the hands of the two of them. Such tricks will no longer work if used too much. Later, when I was a little older, my mother taught me that I must strive for first place. Only if I won first place would my father come back to love me. No one would love a failed child. I was caught by this. I was brainwashed by these words until I was 10 years old. On my 10th birthday, which was also the anniversary of my parents' acquaintance, I held the perfect test paper and the trophy of the mathematical Olympiad. My mother, wearing delicate makeup and beautiful small skirts, one large and one small, was waiting by the dining table, waiting for someone who would never come back. It was almost 12 o'clock in the evening, and this most important day was about to pass. My mother finally got through to her number, but it was a woman's voice that came through. I didn't hear what the person said. After hanging up the phone, my mother sat there for a long time, her emotions breaking down bit by bit. She asked me to go to bed, then climbed up to the rooftop alone and jumped down from the top of the building without the slightest hesitation. My mother is gone, but I'm used to competing, especially competing with Bai Yanyan. We've been together for so many years and we're evenly matched. When I came back to my senses, I explained to Chan Ping'an the events of the past few days. What do you think I should do? Go and explain it to Bai Yanyan. I hesitated. Am I too impulsive? You're the only one missing for this kind of thing. Chan Ping'an pushed his glasses frame and said, Listen to me. Keep your noble head that you cannot surrender with me for the time being. Go and explain it to Bai Yanyan, otherwise you'll regret it. I think he's right, but I haven't gone to find Bai Yanyan yet. And he came to my door first. My company's business for the whole day was in vain. Everyone was very busy. I didn't make time to look for Bai Yan. When everything was over, it was already evening. Just after leaving the company, I received a message from Bai Yan if we met at the bar. Whoever didn't come would be a grandson. I was so angry that I laughed. Bai Yan, this is your attitude towards your husband, but it is undeniable that provocation is particularly useful for me. 20 minutes later, I appeared at the door of the bar. If not for the grandson, I had to fight. For face, I saw a group of people sitting in the corner at a glance. Bai Yan in the right position was flamboyant and dazzling. I just wanted to step forward to say hello. I heard one of them say Yan Yan's sister and brother-in-law had a quarrel. Bai Yan turned her mobile phone on and off, staring at the same chat room without giving up. The Sky interface was silent, and someone else agreed and asked me to say, Sister Yan Yan is so outstanding. What kind of man does she want? She can't find it. Shut up. Bai Yan's tone was unhappy, and when she got close to meet my eyes, she quickly got up and walked over. She was originally full of strength, but now there was only tenderness in her eyes. She signed to me, why are you here? The bar was noisy. I heard her call me husband several times. Bai Yan got drunk suddenly. He pulled me into his arms. His tone was resentful. You still remember to come? Why don't you wait until I'm drunk to death before cleaning up? It's just right that I'm dead, and you will have one less competitor, right? You must be very happy. Gu Wu Yan, you have no conscience. Gu Wu Yan, even if I die and become a ghost, I will haunt you. He took advantage of my inability to hear and spoke crazily. It was so noisy. I took Bai Yan out of the bar, ignoring her struggles, stuffed her into the backseat of the car, and took her back to my home. After I became an adult, I bought my own house outside. Occasionally I went back to my dad's place just to get things. Bai Yan sat quietly in a corner of the sofa. Even when she was drunk, she still didn't forget to sign language. How to sign? He asked me, what did you bring me to your house for? Gu Wu Yan, you have ill intentions towards me. After signing, he crossed his arms and had an expression that he would rather die than surrender. I frowned and sat astride his lap. This time even my neck turned red. He was anxious to sign and I stopped. Hiding the truth that her hearing had recovered, she leaned over to his ear and whispered, I can hear now. You can speak directly. I can hear everything. Bai Yan exploded. I can hear when your hearing recovered. Oh, it was probably the time when you called me husband at my photo. You heard it wrong. He didn't dare to look at me at all. I was clearly calling you old thief. I left. But Bai Yan, I quite like you calling me husband. I blinked at him. As soon as I finished speaking, Bai Yan couldn't control herself anymore. She pressed my head and kissed me. I just immersed myself in it when Bai Yan pushed me away. No, don't. You won't be responsible for me if you kiss me. Her tone was aggrieved. I never said I wouldn't be responsible. I am not the kind of irresponsible person. Bai Yan, I also like you a little bit. In response to me, Bai Yan was silent for a long time. I observed the changes in her expression and was shocked for the next second. The hand on my waist suddenly tightened. Bai Yan's voice was dull. Can you give me a written receipt? What did you say? The written receipt proves that you will be responsible. Convinced you. After signing and sealing, I threw the receipt to him. Now I believe it. He nodded as if it was, and then I realized, husband, it turns out that we have a mutual crush. That's not the case. I did only regard him as an opponent before, but later I realized my feelings. Bai Yan, why didn't you say you liked me? He was even more reserved about this kind of thing. The woman without a mouth met my gaze, and her eyes were particularly resentful. Think about it carefully. Didn't I tell you that I confessed to you in my sophomore year? And you said I had ulterior motives. I upset you the night before the competition. It seemed that this was the case. She continued to accuse me. I sent you a love letter, and you thought I was showing off my literary talent. The more she said, the more guilty I felt. I thought it was a love letter writing competition, and I wrote 18 letters overnight. I am lucky to be your opponent, but I don't have to win. It's just that when I went on stage to receive the award, the first and second place were next to each other. Gu Wu Yan, I just want to stand by your side. While talking, his hand fell in a place where it shouldn't be. After I stopped him, he whispered in my ear in a hoarse voice, Hubby, let's have a competition. What competition? I didn't react. Bai Yan settled down and competed against time. This time Bai Yan won completely. I temporarily concealed the fact that my hearing had recovered. People in the company only knew that I was in love with the president of a rival company, and we went out together every day. Bai Yan appeared in our company so many times that it was almost as many as her regular employees. As soon as she entered my office, she locked the door. I didn't have time to react and was pushed against the wall by him. Bai Yan, what do you want to do? Our company has been discovered. I don't want to lose face anymore. But he was not shy at all. He took my hand and probed inside his clothes. The real touch of spring light made people feel as if I liked him. A determined smile flashed in his eyes. When I got closer to look at him, he pulled me and let me throw myself into his arms. His head rested on my shoulder, and his petite body almost blocked all the light for me. But his tone was a little aggrieved. Husband, it hurts here. His fingers were on his heart. I continued his earthy love words. I haven't seen you for half an hour, and you think I am as distressed as you do. He shook his head and continued. You bit too hard last night, don't say any more. I was quick and covered her mouth to prevent hearing more tiger and wolf words, but Bai Yin was relentless. She bit my hand with a seemingly innocent face, with an ambiguous look in her eyes. She quickly withdrew her hand, and I immediately go buy you some ointment to apply. In what capacity are you buying medicine for me? Hubby, I seem to have lost my memory due to the pain. Who do you say you are to me? His petite body held me tightly, and he did not give in at all. He made me blush and say, Is your identity your husband? Bai Yin got a satisfactory answer and finally let me go. Okay, I won't bother you anymore. Bai Yin returned to her serious look. You asked me to investigate the car accident information. The car accident 4 years ago caused me to become deaf. I have always suspected that it was not an accident and was concealed. After my hearing was restored, I went back to my mother's house again. The first thing I heard was the angry voice of Brother Maidan. Why did that rubbish Guwuyan snatch the family property from me? I am my father's favorite son. My stepmother said. The old man is also confused. It seems that he knows that my grandfather shares the fact that I didn't leave them a penny. I was just about to continue going down the stairs. Suddenly I heard a familiar voice. No matter what he is my son. No matter what he has to listen to me. The father. It turned out that my father was there. The three people thought I couldn't hear, and they were plotting loudly and unscrupulously. I just stood quietly at the corner of the stairs, looking at their ugly faces. Stepmother said, What do you say if he doesn't listen to you? Won't Maidan and I be homeless in the future? He gave a look. Maidan brother tears fell instantly. Dad, I don't want to be homeless. It's better for me to die. He dared to say that in fact he didn't have enough confidence. He couldn't control me in the past few years. I have absolute shares of the company and enjoy absolute say. He pondered for a moment, a sinister look on his face. It's okay. My stepmother's words gave me a chill on my back. I looked at my dad and nodded. There could be a first accident and there could be a second one. The most terrifying thing is that it was never an accident. That empty lane and the out-of-control car almost rushed towards me. I had no time to dodge. My dad and his family signed a letter of apology for me when I was unconscious. The drunk driver only paid tens of thousands of yuan in compensation, and cleared himself of any responsibility. After I woke up, I wanted to investigate the matter, but my hearing was impaired and I was not able to move in any way. There was no news from the driver either. I suspected that this was the work of my stepmother and his family, and I also suspected that my dad was covering up for them. Now that I think about it, I was so wrong. Cole Egg brother and his mother only knew how to eat, drink and have fun. They bought How Could a Parasite Who Packs Bags for Shopping design so many links? Turns out that my dad is the mastermind. I asked Bai Yin to help investigate the car accident information at that time. Looking at the thick stack of information in my hand, I sighed. It was all the driver's network of relationships. Bai Yin said the driver who hit you is called Useless. He is 41 years old this year. He is from another city and is currently farming at home. It is said that he is lazy and gluttonous, but there are always people driving luxury cars to find him. From the photo of the person he is looking at now, I can see that this person is a little familiar. She dropped out of junior high school, but had a very good-looking boyfriend. She paid for her boyfriend's education, but later her boyfriend was admitted to university, despised her for having no money, dumped her, and became a rich man's mistress. We looked at each other and she nodded. Yes, that's your stepmother, Zhuang Jing. I looked at the information on the time. It just happened to match the birth time of maid and brother, but no one can be sure whether she got pregnant after the breakup or before the breakup. Bai Yin saw my doubts. I have asked someone to compare the DNA of Wu Yong and maid and brother. He took out a test report from the pile of information to confirm the parent-child relationship. It's ridiculous. My dad would be furious if he knew that he raised a son for someone else. Wu Yong is indeed a mean man who is greedy for money, but this also makes it convenient for us to verify. Bai Yin paid a little money, and he told her all his plans. His stepmother gave him 1 million and asked him to hit someone. He didn't want to do such an illegal thing at first, but his stepmother pulled out maid and brother and said he was his biological son. He still had a little attachment to women, and now he learned that he gave himself having a child. It is even more impossible to refuse. However, in addition to the 1 million, he added another requirement, that Cole Bomb brother must visit him every month. This biological father got the recorded video evidence. Bai Yin asked me if I would go to the Public Security Bureau now. No, I shook my head. It was intentional injury 3 years ago, but my life is not in danger. These evil people were sentenced to a few years and then released. Such a punishment is too light. Don't they want the accident to happen again? Then let's do it again. Maybe no one will be like me. Knowing that it is his biological father who wants to harm himself, he can still stand here calmly and analyze. I shrug. It's not strange for them to do these, isn't it? Bai Yin didn't say anything, but held my hand tightly to reassure me. My father was unusually concerned about me, and I also pretended to be warm and acted out a loving scene with him. To my 6th birthday gift, he gave me a sports car, called it traveling thousands of miles, looking down on a car with a broken brake pad. With this luxury car, I showed off in front of Kolbom every day. Seeing his dark and embarrassed face, I knew that my father did not tell Kolbom about his plan. It was a sunny day and I couldn't find my car keys. Because the car was valuable and had never been driven, Bai Yanyan and I chose to call the police. Uncle Hat's office. Uncle Hat carefully helped me to make a record. As he was talking, Uncle Hat hurried in. There was a car accident on Yong'an Road. A middle-aged woman was killed and the driver fled. The uncle in the hat brought the photos of the scene. The uncle in the hat who was responsible for making the record was obviously stunned and looked at us. Are you sure you lost a car with a license plate of ZZZ's car? I shook my head. It's the car keys that are lost. The car should still be in my garage, but I'm worried that it was stolen by a thief. Come to file a case. Your car and the car keys have been found. We came to the scene of the car accident. The cordon has been set up. The ambulance has just left. I heard that the person who was hit was a middle-aged woman with exquisite dressing. She died on the spot. The preliminary judgment is that the cause of the accident was the failure of the vehicle's brake pads. How could the brake pads fail? This is the new car my father just bought for me last month. Uncle in the hat. This is a safety hazard. We can't let this car go. The manufacturer. I pushed open the office door. There was only him inside. As soon as I opened the door, there was a bloody smell rushing towards me. I hadn't put down the fruit knife in my hand. Lying underneath was the bloody Kolbom brother. The cause of the car accident. Cole Egg brother knew that he had hit someone. Hurried home to ask my father for help. Panicked. Didn't see that the person he hit was his own mother. It's a pity that I had just sent the paternity report appraisal letter to my dad. Was very angry at the moment. When we arrived, we watched the bloodiest scene. The uncles in hats were instantly alert and put down their weapons. I heard that Kolbom brother lost too much blood and could not be rescued. My dad finally pleaded guilty. The brake pads failed. He was the one who committed the intentional murder and killed Kolbom brother. This was enough for him to be sentenced to death. Everything was back on track. Bai Yanyan and I were still rivals but also the best lovers. At this moment, I finally understood that love could be so beautiful. Bai Yanyan was the most special existence in my life, and I was finally able to respond to his feelings bravely. Since then, although we still compete with each other at work, we have become each other's most intimate partners in life. He would give me a warm hug when I was tired, and I would accompany him to find a solution when he was troubled. We are no longer just rivals but rely on each other. I know that in this life, I will go through countless spring, summer, autumn and winter with Bai Yanyan, and every day will become incomparably sweet because of her. The end.